Good morning, everybody, and welcome to St. Joseph. It is truly our privilege and our pleasure to welcome each of you here today. We are very excited that you have selected our school to see our faith and our education in action. Minister Hunter, it is truly our honor to have you join us today, and so grateful that you took the time to meet our students, to ask them questions about their learning, and to see firsthand the impact of the Empower program and how we're connecting that with our emotional literacy. So thank you very much for joining us today. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Loretta Naughton, our Director of Education, to bring greetings from the board.
Thank you very much, Tanya. Good morning, Minister Hunter, and good morning, Minister McGarry, trustees, and all of our invited guests here this morning. As director, I am absolutely thrilled to be welcoming you to Waterloo Catholic. We're enormously proud of the work that happens here, and I'm really happy that you had the opportunity to visit a few classrooms and see it in action. We have programs where students flourish in an inclusive, faith-based school system. The strength of our system lies in our people and in the relationships that are forged in our schools. They allow us to nurture all of our children to the fullest of their potential. Our board learning improvement plan is grounded in the notion of responding to the needs of the individual learner and what it means to truly understand their learning need in each class and for each child. With that model, it's worth noting that we have special education programs that are personalized and responsive and that allow us to meet the wide variety of needs that we have within our system. Our classrooms, like those here at St. Joseph, are dynamic and vibrant. This year, we started a feature on our website that is called School of the Week. They are all archived on our website, and each one reveals a story and a miracle of learning and growth, each one a celebration of what happens in our Waterloo Catholic schools every day. At this time of year, we're also celebrating what we call our Beacons of Hope students, students who defy remarkable odds and display all the characteristics of a strong Catholic graduate, through their selfless acts of kindness and through their compassion. In short, they're people of tremendous good character who model our gospel values. Of this, we are enormously proud. As you've seen, there's great learning that happens in our classrooms, but we're also blessed with wonderful trustees who genuinely care about our schools and about the students that they serve. They are tremendous ambassadors of our system and of our community, out in the community, and they continually go out of their way to represent us. And so with that, it makes me very proud to welcome our chair of the board, Joyce Anderson, to offer some words of welcome this morning.
Thank you, Loretta. And it is indeed my pleasure to be here. And thank you so much, Minister Hunter, for taking the time to come and see the great work that we're doing here at Waterloo Catholic. It is also my pleasure to introduce MPP Kathryn McGarry this morning. Kathryn was first elected to the Ontario Legislature in 2014, where she currently serves as Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry. From 2014 to 16, Kathryn was Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Transportation. Kathryn worked in the Cambridge community for 30 years as a care coordinator and nurse. She is a strong advocate for health care and cultural heritage. In addition to serving on the Waterloo Crime Prevention Council, she is a founding member of the Hospice of Waterloo and past president of Heritage Cambridge. Kathryn was awarded the Woman of Distinction Award in 2009 and a Bernice Adams Memorial Award in 2011 for her community service. In addition to her deep involvement in the community, Kathryn is busy as the married mother of 4 children. Please join me in welcoming Cambridge MPP Kathryn McGarry.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks, Joyce, for that kind introduction. I'll give you the short version next time, but thank you. You know, I'm absolutely delighted to be here this morning and to welcome my good friend, my colleague, Minister Hunter, here this morning. I know for sure that this will be the best part of our day. Any time that we get a chance to spend with children in classrooms and in schools is definitely a great day. So I just want to thank everybody here, not only for having us at the school this morning, but also for the work that you do each and every day. I know that Joyce was saying I'm the mother of 4 children, and we are 24 years between the first and the last one. So this morning, trying to get my grade 8 out the door to the bus, he missed it. Never heard that story before. So I had to drive him to his school first, out in Ayr, before I came here. But I also know, having raised many children and seen their friends come and go from our own homes, how important it is to be able to put in place programs that have the children at a very early age succeed. And just the few moments demonstration here this morning that I know Minister Hunter will talk about is just phenomenal, because we know the gifts that we're giving them at this early age. And I just have to put in one plug. I am the Minister of Forestry, and I was very glad to see that the tree was one of the icons that they're using to learn there. So I'm going to add on, that's another use for trees. It helps with our education. I'm very honored this morning to introduce Minister Mitzie Hunter. She was first elected to the Ontario Legislature in 2013 as the MPP for Scarborough-Guildwood, re-elected obviously in 2014. I have known Mitzie in both her roles as the Associate Minister of Finance, responsible for the Ontario Retirement Plan for Ontario, and I assisted her in getting some of that legislation through, and it was her leadership, our government's leadership, that really had the federal government finally step up to enhance the retirement pension plan throughout all of Canada. I wanted to offer my sincerest good wishes on that, because it really serves all of us. But Minister Hunter is now the Education Minister. And I may or may not have said that to my son on the way this morning, that if I'm late for your Education Minister, it's not my fault. I may have said that. But I'm delighted to welcome her this morning. We sit beside each other at cabinet table, so we're often whispering to each other. We don't have the chalk thrown at us, I might add. But we're often talking about education. I know how passionate she is about this subject, certainly a passion of mine, and I'm just delighted to welcome her here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kathryn, and it's really great to be here with you in Cambridge. And we do sit beside each other in cabinet, and we have such a great time and have become great friends. So it's great to be here, and I want to say that the best part of my day, the thing that I love to do, is to visit schools. And when I visit schools, I really slow down in the hallways, because I want to see what's happening in classrooms and to really peer in and to see the learning. It's really wonderful to see our educators and our students leaning into each other with that learning. And I see that here at Waterloo Catholic. So I want to just say thank you so much for welcoming me here, Principal Reeser, and just to your fantastic school here at St. Joseph Catholic Elementary School. And I want to thank the team at the board, and I know that you're a strong team and you're all working together. So thank you, Joyce, for all the work that you're doing. And of course, Loretta, for your leadership as well. So today, and I want to say hello and bonjour to everyone, let me first acknowledge that Cambridge is located on the traditional territory of Indigenous peoples dating back countless generations. I want to show respect for their contributions and recognize the role of treaties in what is now Ontario. Because hundreds of years after the first treaties were signed, they are still alive and relevant today. I want to say that it's a great day here at St. Joseph. Today is a special day for me because a few months ago, when I became Minister of Education, that was last summer, I visited Ernest Drury School for the Deaf in Milton, and announced the steps that we would take to strengthen supports for students with special education needs, including keeping all of our provincial and demonstration schools open. It was the first thing that I was able to do as Minister of Education. And we, at that time, launched our intention for the pilots for intensive reading intervention projects to increase the availability and the responsiveness of supports for students with learning disabilities in their local communities. Establishing a reference group to provide our guidance and input on strengthening supports for students who are deaf or hard of hearing, and also pursuing legislation to transfer the governance structure of Centre Jules Léger to the 12 French language school boards to better support French language students. So, it's been less than a year since I first visited EC Drury School in Milton, and I'm now here in Cambridge visiting. First of all, I had a chance to pop by Ms. Maltby's class as they were reading a story on feelings. And I asked the student how they thought I was feeling today. How do you think I'm feeling today? Happy. That's exactly what they said, and that's exactly how I am feeling. And I was able to participate and to see the new intensive reading pilot project. And I want to say thank you to both Ms. Maltby and also Ms. Lanauskas for welcoming me into their classrooms. Because that's really where it all happens. When you see the students being part of an inclusive classroom, sitting with their peers, learning, developing socially, physically, cognitively, emotionally. And then you see them pulled out for intensive reading support and getting that intervention that they need right in their school, in their local community. It was really great to see that. So it's truly amazing to hear directly from the students about how important the reading intensive pilots are in supporting their own individual learning needs. And I asked each and every one of the students, and they all said, I can read. They all said that. So our government is committed to the success and to the well-being and the achievement of every student, and committed to giving students access to the supports that they need to succeed, closer to home. With the valuable insights that we collected during the consultations that were held last year with students, with parents, and education and community partners, the Ministry of Education was able to design intensive reading pilots closer to home, intended to equip students with learning disabilities to develop their reading skills. So some of the feedback identified in the consultations included early recognition of learning disabilities, more effective reading programs, better programming and effective use of technology, improved support for students' social and emotional development. So using the Empower reading program developed by Dr. Maureen Lovett and her team of educators and professionals at the Hospital for Sick Children, we created pilots that increased the availability and the responsiveness of supports for students and implemented some of the practices that have been proven to be effective in Ontario's demonstration schools. So the 3-year pilots began in the fall of 2016 with English language school boards in Cambridge, London, Sudbury, and Windsor. Similar pilots will be established for French language school boards, currently scheduled to begin in the 2017-18 school year. So you guys were first out. The results of these pilots are being tracked. Research is being conducted to support school boards so that they can provide earlier, equitable, and effective supports for students across the entire province. We want to see students receive the supports that they need closer to home. These pilots are ensuring that all students, no matter where they live, are provided equitable access to resources that will help them to reach their full potential. So thank you once again for having me here at St. Joseph Catholic Elementary School. and for the wonderful welcome I have received in this school community. It's been a fantastic morning, a great start to the day, and I want to give a very special thank you to our two classroom teachers who clearly are very, very passionate about learning and supporting our students to reach their full potential. And it was really, really wonderful to see that. So thank you, merci, miigwech. And I know that there might be questions. I'm happy to take any questions that there are this morning from the media. And if there are no questions, that's okay. Is there a question?
Not on this topic. I have some others maybe I might ask you about, but
Okay. Do you want to? Okay, go ahead.
could you just probably use your.
Well, sure. Yeah, okay. I'm just curious about how many schools and that sort of thing. We have a list here of the number of boards it's being rolled out in, and how many kind of schools and classrooms that are going to be kind of affected or touched by this program.
So we have rolled it out across 8 English language school boards. About 30 schools are participating in the pilot and using the Empower technology, as well as receiving the training and the supports that go along with the pilots.
Okay. And I guess why is this this specific thing with helping children with learning disabilities? Why is this a priority?
There's just a huge need to provide this level of support for students, and one of our goals is the earlier intervention. I think we saw that today, and it makes a big difference because it builds the confidence in students and gives them that ability to read along with their peers, and in an inclusive way within their local schools. So it's extremely important. We still have a role for our provincial demonstration schools where there's intensive support that's happening there, but it's only assisting a limited number of students, and the need is much, much, much greater in local school boards to have this type of support. So I really want to say that this particular board has been a leader, and when we were seeking to do the pilots, we really were looking to work with boards that already had the ability to use the Empower technology, where there was a minimum of 8 students that could participate and be supported, and we were able to partner with Waterloo Catholic as a result. But our focus is to really to get this right. It is a 3-year pilot. We will be tracking. There's a researcher at OISE that will be tracking the results. But from what I can see, we're already seeing students' reading levels jump just with the work that's being done in these few months. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks very much.